It has been exactly 1 whole year and I haven't talked to anyone about the incident. I guess you could say that I didn't want people to think I was crazy. As today marks the anniversary of what happened, it has been the only thing plaguing my mind. It's time to get it off of my chest. It was July last year when I got an invite to my friend's house for his birthday party. He had mostly family going round, as I was one of the only close friends he had. For personal reasons, I will not call him by his real name. I'll just refer to him as James. James's house is in an area surrounded by trees, so it's very hard to get to. Due to where it is and the lack of friends James actually had, I was probably one of the only friends that knew where he lived. Anyway, I digress. I got to James's house and knocked on the door. I had a card in one hand and a present in the other, so actually I kinda kicked the door. He answered the door, and so I gave him both the present and the card, and then I went inside. After about 10 minutes, I was introduced to his family. They seemed nice, but I could tell why he didn't have many friends. They were all over him. His parents were the worst. They kept hugging and smothering him. They meant well, and being that I understand James, I just shrugged it off. It wasn't too long into my stay until James told me about a pool he had outside. At first, I thought he meant a small child's inflatable one, but no, he had a full-size swimming pool. I was shocked, but I wasn't going to question him about why he had the pool. I guess his family, as childlike as they were, had quite a bit to fall back on financially. I used his bathroom to get changed and went outside to the pool. He had already got changed in the upstairs bathroom, so we got ready at pretty much the same time. Now, I'm not one to jump into pools, as I don't like the sharp shock of a poorly maintained pool. You know, a freezing cold one. James's pool, however, was quite warm. We spent about half an hour in his pool before we both decided to go inside for lunch. He got out and grabbed 2 towels. I got out and took one of the towels off of him. We walked towards the house, and I suddenly felt a very uneasy feeling. It felt like I was being watched. I turned around, but there was no one there. I entered the house and shut the patio door behind us. That's when I noticed something I didn't notice before. It was standing in the corner of James's garden. To this day, I can still recall what it looked like. It was pallid. So pallid that you could see sickly veins pushing through the skin. It was hunched over with the most horrific bend in its back. This thing must have been about 7 foot tall, but the body was so bent over that it only stood about 4 to 5 foot tall. The face was the worst. Its mouth wasn't grinning from ear to ear. Oh no. It was stretched all the way to the back of its head, almost like it had been pinned back. The mouth was wide open, revealing a set of white jagged teeth. The thing that scared me the most, however, was the fact that this thing had no arms and no eyes. The next thing I knew, I had passed out on the floor. I woke up later with James and his whole family around me. They asked what had happened, and I think my excuse was I must have been out in the sun too long. I'm not sure they believed that though, as James was perfectly fine. That being said, they wouldn't believe me anyway, even if I had told them the truth. I remember looking back through the patio door. Nothing was out there. To this day, I still don't know if what I saw was just something in my imagination, or whether it was real. All I know is that if it was real, it must still be out there.